Humanity has this obsession with voyeurism. You know, we're obsessed with voyeurism. We love to see outside of ourselves. We love to feel like we're leaving our lives and looking into someone else's life. You know, reality shows, podcasts, pornography, all of this at the core has voyeurism attached to it. Rarely do we want to see inside of ourselves. And as time goes on, as social media becomes bigger, we become people that love to compare and compare ourselves with others, compare ourselves with what we see, to the point where we even determine our own success based off of what we see. We off of comparison, off of, am I getting as much money as this person's getting? Or whatever that judgment, whatever that determination is of success, we tend to compare that to others rather than comparing it to ourselves, rather than ourselves being the main thing that we compete with, the main thing we compare ourselves to. Am I better today than I was yesterday, right? And I see this more with the younger generation, obviously. I mean, the studies show that anxiety and depression are through the roof through social media comparison orientation. And with that issue of social comparison orientation, social media comparison orientation, is this idea of, the bag being more important than possibilities. What I mean by that is, we often want the money, but we don't see the opportunities of money all around us. And I've seen this in books. I've seen this over the years. Philosophers, wealthy people, they talk about how there is money all around us. There's opportunities all around us. It's just a matter of our relationship with money being the root cause of why we don't see abundance and why we stay broke. I've even saw Andrew Tate, who all the young people love, talk about being broke, that people have money and are still brokies, they would call them. Because their mindset is, I have to do everything to keep this money. You know what I'm saying? And in their mindset, they're like, yo, I will always get money. I will always have money. I will always have opportunity for money. I will always have abundance around me to be able to see money. And this really changes how we begin to interact and attract money. With the younger generation, I see that it's very difficult for them. It's almost easy for them to get the bag. I mean, this young generation will get the bag. Will they maintain the bag? No. They want the bag quick. And the problem with getting it quick is you don't go through the journey that's necessary for you to build up the skills and the resiliency that you need and the habits that you need to be able to maintain money. So we get this money, we get this bag, and we can't maintain it. Or we pass up opportunities that don't look like money, but they are. Because we're looking at it from the outside in. We're not seeing that there's opportunity here. Let me seize that. Let me see the possibilities of what this can morph into, what this can transform into. Because instead, I want to see the bag first. Because I remember back in my day, whether you want to go to Diddy, or whether you want to go to myself, or whether you want to go to other people who I know that are professional, that are doing their thing and are successful in their own right, and then some people that I don't know that are billionaires, but I see them from afar. I see them on YouTube talking about their journeys. They all talk about a time in their life where they were an apprentice or they were an intern. They weren't getting paid. They just saw the opportunity to build their craft and build their skill. Young people don't normally want to do that now. The more we are getting the downloads and the more we're getting more into the voyeurism, the more that we're into the metaverse and the online world and being able to interact with everything outside of us, it's taking us away from this relationship within ourselves. It's taking us away from being able to sit with ourselves, with our minds, and be able to truly engage with source. And I don't know what you want to call it. Whether you want to call it God, I don't care what you want to call it. There's a higher version of you that exists. But that higher version of you needs to be engaged with, not outside of here, but inside here. And we need to be able to tap into that higher version, because that higher version of us will be able to see opportunity when it might not look like it through the monetary value, but it is through the opportunity value, through the possibility value. And I find that young people have a hard time doing that, but also just humanity as a whole. We have a hard time as we evolve more and as we look at technology as being the saving grace for humanity. Like, how are we going to live for another 5,000 years? Well, we're going to have to evolve in technology. And in some ways that's true, but we rarely look at how we as humans are getting better, how we are going to interact. Will love help us evolve another 1,000 years? For sure. For sure. You know, with the right concept of love, not the love that is selfish, where it's like, I do for you only, I'll love you only if you love me, right? But the love that understands that we're all connected, that I am you, I am because you are because I am. This type of love is what helps us evolve the next 20, 30, 40,000 years. Not just technology. And the more we dive into the technology, the more we get into these apps where we're talking with people outside of the world, and we're building these relationships on whether it's Twitch, Clubhouse, wherever it is, we're building these relationships, and they become to be almost the replacement for our own intimate relationship with ourselves. And if we really count how many times we take a moment to sit with ourselves and sit with our, with where we are in life, ground ourselves, literally and physically and figuratively, the more we lack doing that, the more we're not really embracing this higher version of us that is going to really lead us into the best decisions that we can make.